Do you imagine giving up your corporate job in order to save the youth in a community? Well, this non-profit organization has done it. Father's Heart provides skills development and cares for the youth of a small forgotten community here in South Africa. It is run by husband and wife Jill and Michael, and their aim is to change this country, and making a change is here to help. So this is CEO and co-founder of the Father's Heart, Jill Carolison, who saw a need and gave up so much to make a change.
When coming here, we saw a huge need. Originally, we thought that we would just be working in a space with orphans and foster families. But when we came here and just saw so many thousands and thousands and thousands of vulnerable children, we realized that the need was so great, and that's why we extended to orphans and vulnerable children. And from then on, it's just been one day at a time. And we've always had a heart for children. We've always had a heart for vulnerable children, particularly the fatherless, those that are really hurting. And that's always been our life. If everybody that knows us, our lives were always, we had children running in and out of our homes. And we started working in Fisantekraal from the ground up, getting to know the people, the hearts of the people, what they need, what their challenges were, just talking to them. We've always believed in listening to people and understanding, not coming into a community and being like, hey, we're here to solve your problems, we know better. So really just trying to understand, and we started working on the ground, doing what we could. And in 2019, we officially registered at the Father's Heart Community Development, and we got this lovely building that we're currently in right now. And we just started doing what we felt that we needed to do and serving this community in the best way we knew how.
Now we got to speak to Michael Carolison, who runs the Father's Heart along with his wife. And he has a special way of identifying the issues within the youth in this community.
As a Christian family, I've always loved working with children. So I come from a big family, always had nephews and nieces around me, and always felt drawn to children. Jill likes to call me the Pied Piper of kids, and I believe it's more because we're on the same level, mentally wise. And as a father, I just love children. So in 2018, we fostered 2 boys, and in that process, we understood what trauma does to people. And obviously for me, looking at a community where they don't have the resources that we would have, I realized with Jill that we needed to do something. And engaging with this community, we found out that when you put someone in a place where they require just about all the help they can get, and you remove that resources, they find themselves in a place. For me, I think what's the biggest thing is my calling. I feel since young that I was called to work with children. And as a father, as a Christian man, as understanding what a biblical foundation is for a man, that is what drives me every day, to see that these children change, to see that they get every single resource that they require to become a successful adult, and to just know that one day I'll be able to look back and know that this is a legacy that I've left behind, not only for me, but who knows, for my kids to take over one day.
So it's clear that the Father's Heart does so much for their community. And Alfreda de Veer saw the impact that this had on her own child, and she wanted to help out at the Father's Heart.
Father's Heart doen baie dinge in die community. Soos byvoorbeeld, soos die online school wat hulle gee vir die kinders wat nie education het nie, wat kan kom om te kom leer hierso. Daar hoef die kinders op die strate rond te loop en rond te speel nie. Hulle kom na Father's Heart, hulle leer baie dinge hierso. En dis kom ek sê Father's Heart hy probeer sy bes doen om vir almal tevrede te stel in die plek. En nie dat hulle gaan baie uit hulle pad uit vir hierdie kinders in hierdie community. Want dit is nie net 'n kind dat hulle op die straat sien nie, hulle vat die kind soos hulle eie kinders.
So just a quick little pause. If you are interested in getting in contact with the Father's Heart, then all of their details, along with the details on becoming a Patreon member with Making a Change, all of those links and details are down in the description below. Now, let's get back to the video.
Our biggest challenge is the trauma. Trauma is something I'm extremely passionate about, having come from and overcome my own traumatic past, and so I understand how that impacts on children and later in their lives. So much research on the impacts of trauma on a child, and that's why you have what you see in communities. Is because there was a child that had complex trauma that was never helped to process what they went through, and that's why they become the drug addicted adult. That's why they become the abusive husband. That's why they become the person who actually can't hold down a job and instead is drinking himself to a stupor whole day and beating up his wife, etc. So for us, that's the biggest issue. I mean, especially in the space that we work in with orphans and vulnerable children, every single one of them have experienced complex trauma, which is trauma that has happened over and over and over. And it changes their physiology, it changes their brains, it changes how they function, it changes how they live. And so to have them come in and to be able to be very cognizant of that, obviously when we work with children, you're going to see all manner of behavioral issues, but firstly to understand that, and that's why we make sure that all our staff understand what that trauma is, what is done to this child, to be able to view them through a lens of this is not you, this is not behavior, what we're seeing is a symptom and how do we help you. But obviously within that confines, all that trauma has created just this perfect storm of this child that's come with all of these problems but is also hurting so badly. And so for us, trying to actually unwrap that and peel off one layer at a time. Work that we do is not a once-off shot. It's not like, oh, we do a program here and a program there and 2 months here. Firstly, research shows that that doesn't work. It's long-term, it's consistent, it's relational, it's loving these children all the time, it's talking to them, it's being their safe adult, it's being their safe need. And over years, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to change generational poverty and hurt and trauma and all of those things. That doesn't happen overnight. So a lot of these children that have been with us since we opened our doors. And only maybe in the first year or two, you start seeing small changes, and it's not going to be miraculous. That's why we celebrate the small wins, but it's a child that, where they came in first was busy just punching a girl's lights out because he wanted the pencil, and now he will ask nicely and he will say would you like to use it first? So those are the type of things that we see and behavioral changes. But yeah, we're here for the long run, and we know that as they grow with us, as we grow with them, and we keep on plowing into them day in and day out, eventually, every child that comes out of the Father's heart has only graduated. Once they have finished tertiary education, which is really important, there's only a 1.1% tertiary rate in Fisantekraal, that they are in a job, that they are stable, that they are loving and nurturing parents themselves. And then we know that we've broken that cycle of poverty and hopelessness and abuse.
For me, the primary aim is to unearth that child and to give them every single opportunity and resource they need to basically become successful. And how do we do that? By ensuring that the family dynamic is restored. That for me is the core. If we want to change the world, what do? We need to address fatherlessness, which is the cause of gangsterism, drug abuse, and so many other things. So if we can restore that family, we transform their lives, and eventually they end up thriving. So for me personally, what I would really like everybody out there to know is that this community is a stone throw away from an affluent community. Just like all the others, there are so much things happening here that can be eradicated just by people becoming aware and becoming a part of it. We have gangsterism, we have abuse, we have physical abuse, we have alcoholism. There's so much things happening on their doorstep, and eventually it's going to spill over. But if the interventions take place, if people partner with us, that is where we could put a stop to it and ensure that everyone feels seen, there's equality, and we can see a future brighter than the one we have currently.
Today was absolutely beautiful, getting to visit the Father's Heart NPO and to learn all about the incredible things that they are doing for the children in this community is absolutely wonderful. Seeing so many happy kids today, seeing them all learn, it just gives me hope knowing that these children are being looked after. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Your view makes a massive difference in our mission to make a change in this world. If you like this video, please give this video a like. Please subscribe to the channel so that you can become a change maker. And I think you should definitely check out this next video where we were with an NPO helping teens in South Africa make their dreams come true. Check it out.